What Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, and other terrorist groups are in our society is, in many ways, what the colonialists, be it British, be it French, be it Germany, be it Italians, that was exactly what they were to our ancestors in many ways. Let me explain. You see, before you can become a colonizer, you will first be a terrorizer. A colonizer is a terrorist that succeeded. I'm going to prove it. Pay attention. What do you think is the difference between colonialism and terrorism? First, let us look at the definition of the two words so I can give you a landing space. Make sure you watch this video to the end. The voice of Akebuland, the voice of the continent is teaching. What is colonialism? It is a process by which a foreign power establishes authority in another territory over its people, usually using what? Conquest, using coercion, using political settlement, political domination, and exploitation. Make sure you take those characteristics into cognizance. Now, what is terrorism? It is the use or the threat to violence or force to create fear and to achieve political, ideological, and religious objective. Pay attention to the characteristics that makes the both. Listen, that is to say, before a colonizer can colonize you, before a colonizer can completely subjugate a people, they must first do something. What is that? They must break your ability to resist. How do they break your ability to resist? Through what? Fear, which is the characteristics of a terrorist. Using what? Political domination, using conquest, using fear and violence. This is the characteristics of who? A terrorist. That is to say, terrorism is an instrument in the hands of who? Colonialist. The colonialist first uses terror to break the people so that they cannot be able to fight for what is their own. Their ability to resist will be defeated and broken. That is using the instrument of a terrorist before they will now impose colonization on you. Because as long as Emperor Menelik II and Empress Taita Buti were consigned, the invading Italian army were terrorists. As long as the Ekumeku fighters were consigned, the British were terrorists because they did not arrive with permission. They came with gun. Now, this is where it gets interesting. When someone comes to your house with a gun, who is he? He's a thief. But that is not how it is in the colonial historical book. It is the person that owns the house that tells the one with the gun, hey, leave my house. That becomes the problem. The owner of the house, when telling the invader to leave his territory, is being termed and labeled a rebel. That is why, to the British, the Ekumeku fighters were rebels. To them, the Mwamwa uprising in Kenya between 1952 to 1960 were rebels. To them, the Maji were rebellions. That's what they call it, Maji rebellion in Tanzania. Why am I teaching you this? Listen to why I'm teaching you this. When an African country today say that they do not want the footprint of a colonizer in their place, like Burkina Faso has did, like Mali is doing, like Niger is doing, telling France leave. And when they leave, you began seeing footprint of terrorism in your respective countries, so that you will not be wondering, where is this terrorism coming from? Because you should know that terrorism is one of the components of the colonizer. Yes, a colonizer is a terrorist that succeeded. Have that in mind. Have that in mind. that before one can colonize you, he must first impose terror on you. And the one who imposes terror on you to break your ability to resist him is a terrorizer. And terrorism becomes a component of a colonialist. That is why today you see so many terrorism happening around African nations. To do what? To make sure that we are not stable. These are products of neo-colonialism and imperialism, one of the components of the former colonizer, who now became a neo-colonialist and imperialist. Akebulan, wisdom is the principal thing. If you do not understand what I just taught, when you go to bed, ask God to reveal to you what the town crier, the modern day town crier, the voice of the continent, the voice of Akebulan, the voice of the continent has taught you today. Make sure you share this video so that those whom this message was meant for will understand and take action. Make sure you tag anyone you're supposed to tag, and make sure you comment, because this message must echo like the drums echoed in the ancient kingdoms of Congo. And I want to say very big thank you to all those who contribute to Modern Day Tankwaya Book Distribution Foundation. I thank you. I might not be able to call your names because I don't know about your privacy. So I will maintain your privacy. Okay? I won't call your names. But I tell you, I see you and I feel you. No matter what you drop there, I see it and I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Mind you, you are changing lives. The difference between you and I is that I am the one in the field, but your resources is what keeps us in that field to make sure that the next generation learn what you learned late. Akebulan, don't forget, the colonizer is a terrorizer that succeeded. Both of them must be checkmated. Akebulan, wisdom is the principal thing.